Have you ever wondered why some people get everything they want in life, while others stay stuck in the exact same place for years? It's not because of luck. And it's not because their dreams are too small. Today, I'm going to share a story about a young man named Ethan, who had beautiful, giant dreams, but his life was a complete mess. That is, until he met an old wise farmer by a rushing river who gave him a lesson that changed his life forever. Make sure to watch this video all the way to the end, because the secret this old man shares in the middle of the story will completely change the way you look at your own future. Let's begin. The story, Why Most Dreams Never Come True. Chapter 1, The Cost of a Wish. Most people spend their entire lives wishing. They wish for success. They wish for more money. They wish for a better job, greater opportunities, vibrant health, and a brighter future. Every single morning, they wake up with beautiful dreams glowing in their hearts. But every single night, they go to sleep with those exact same dreams still unfinished. Some people wish to start a business, but fear stops them cold. Some wish to learn a new skill, but laziness defeats them. Some wish to completely change their lives, but they keep waiting for the perfect time. The truth is very simple. Wishing feels good because it costs absolutely nothing. Fighting for a dream, however, is incredibly difficult. It requires intense effort, painful sacrifice, deep patience, and true courage. Many people want the reward of success, but very few are willing to step into the struggle to earn it. Today's story is for everyone who has a great dream, but feels completely stuck. My name is Wally. And this story is about a young farmer who learned that wishes alone never change a life. Only action does. Chapter 2, The Dreamer Under the Tree. In a small, quiet village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a young man named Ethan. Ethan was famous throughout the village, but not for his hard work. He was known for having incredibly big dreams. Every day, Ethan talked loudly about his grand future. One day, he wanted to become the richest man in the land. Another day, he wanted to own the largest, most beautiful farm in the valley. Sometimes, he dreamed about building a magnificent house for his aging parents. His dreams were stunning, colorful, and vast. But Ethan had one simple, fatal problem. He never did a single thing to make them happen. Whenever the hard-working villagers stepped into the muddy fields before sunrise, Ethan was fast asleep. Whenever others gathered to learn new, modern farming methods, Ethan sat comfortably under the shade of a large tree, staring into space and imagining his future success. Whenever a real opportunity appeared, he instantly found a clever excuse. "I'll start tomorrow," he would say. "I just need better conditions. I need more money. I need more time." But tomorrow quickly became next week. Next week smoothly became next month. And month after month, year after year, absolutely nothing changed. Chapter 3, The Lesson at the River. One warm afternoon, Ethan was sitting beside a wide, rushing river, lazily watching the water flow past. An old farmer named Mr. Henry walked by. Mr. Henry was deeply respected by everyone in the region. His fields always produced the richest crops, his family lived comfortably, and his home was filled with peace. Everyone admired his incredible success. Ethan looked up at the old man and let out a heavy, jealous sigh. "I wish I had your life, Mr. Henry." Mr. Henry stopped and smiled gently. "Do you really, Ethan?" "Of course," Ethan replied instantly. "You have everything a man could ever want. I wish I were just as successful as you." The old farmer walked over and sat down on the grass next to the young man. He looked out at the water, paused, and then asked a very strange question. "How many hours did you work today, Ethan?" Ethan shifted uncomfortably and looked away. "None." "How many hours did you work yesterday?" Ethan remained completely silent, staring at his shoes. The old man nodded slowly. Then, he pointed a weathered finger toward the rushing river. "Do you see that water?" "Yes," Ethan said. "If a man stands on this side of the bank every single day, wishing with all his heart to cross the river, will he ever reach the other side?" "No," Ethan answered, confused. Of course not. What must he do instead? He must dive in and swim, or he must build a boat, Ethan said. The old man's smile widened. Exactly. You see, Ethan, the river does not care about your wishes. It responds only to your action. With that, Mr. Henry stood up, turned around, and walked away into the afternoon sun. Chapter 4. The Pain of Growth. Those words stayed deep inside Ethan's mind. For the very first time in his life, he felt deeply uncomfortable. The truth hurt. He realized that he loved the idea of dreams more than the actual work. He loved imagining success much more than earning it. The next morning, before the sun could peek over the horizon, Ethan made a choice. He woke up. His body was heavy and wanted to sleep. His mind screamed at him to quit and crawl back under the warm blankets. But he forced himself out of bed. He walked out to his small, neglected piece of land, picked up a heavy tool, and started to clear the weeds. The first day was brutally hard. The second day was even harder. His hands blistered and bled. His muscles ached with an intense fire. When his friends walked past, they laughed out loud. Look at Ethan, they mocked. Look at the big dreamer pretending to be a hard worker. But Ethan ignored the laughter. He kept working. Weeks passed, and then months. Ethan began to change. He started asking questions. He stood by the experienced farmers and learned from them. He read books, he tested new ideas, and he made massive mistakes. Some of his crops failed completely. Some seeds rotted in the dirt and never grew. One night, a violent storm swept through the valley and destroyed half of his field. Many times, Ethan sat in the dirt, covered in mud, wanting to give up completely. One evening, as he stared at his ruined crops, tears filled his eyes. Years ago, he would have quit on the spot and gone back to daydreaming. But things were different now. He closed his eyes and remembered the old man's voice. The river responds only to action. So, Ethan stood up, wiped the dirt from his face, and went right back to work. Chapter 5. The Ultimate Transformation. Another full year passed. Slowly, beautifully, his land began to improve. The dirt became rich and fertile. His harvest grew larger and healthier. The villagers stopped laughing and started noticing. For the very first time in his entire life, Ethan felt a deep sense of pride. It wasn't because he had achieved his final dream yet, but because he was finally standing up and fighting for it. One afternoon, he went to visit Mr. Henry again. I am working harder than I ever thought possible, Ethan said, wiping the sweat from his brow. But the ultimate success still feels so far away. The old farmer laughed heartily. Good. Ethan looked completely confused. Good? Why is that good? Because now, my boy, you are finally learning the most important lesson of all. And what lesson is that? Ethan asked. The ultimate purpose of effort is not just to reach your goal. Mr. Henry said softly, looking Ethan in the eyes. The real purpose of effort is to completely transform the person chasing it. Ethan stood still, letting the words sink in. Years ago, the old man continued, you wanted success without struggle. You wanted the reward without the growth. If a miracle had given you success back then, you would have lost it within a week, because you were not the kind of man who could hold on to it. You weren't ready. That single sentence shifted Ethan's perspective forever. He finally understood. The long, grueling journey wasn't a punishment. It was preparing him for his destination. Every early morning was building his discipline. Every painful failure was building his wisdom. Every storm he survived was building his inner strength. Success wasn't just a finish line waiting for him out in the world. Success was something beautiful growing inside of him day by day. Chapter 6. The Reality of the Dream. Years later, Ethan became one of the most successful, prosperous farmers in the entire region. His fields expanded as far as the eye could see. His income multiplied. His parents lived in comfort and peace in a beautiful home. People from distant villages often traveled to see him, asking for the secret behind his incredible rise. Many expected him to reveal some magical technique, a secret fertilizer, or a hidden strategy. Instead, Ethan always looked at them with a gentle smile and gave the exact same answer. I simply stopped wishing, and I started fighting. The visitors usually smiled and nodded, thinking it was just a clever phrase. But Ethan knew those words contained the story of his entire life. Because dreams are cheap. Everyone on Earth has a dream. But action is incredibly expensive. It demands your comfort. It demands your sacrifice. It demands absolute consistency when the results are completely invisible. Most people fail in life not because their dreams are too big. They fail because their commitment is too small. They want the victory, but they run from the battle. They want the results, but they refuse the effort. They want a change in their life, but they refuse to step into the discomfort. But life simply does not work that way. Every single meaningful achievement requires a fight. Not a fight against other people, but a daily battle against your own laziness. Against your own fear. Against your own self-doubt, your own excuses, and against that loud part of yourself that always begs for the easy, comfortable path. And that is the hardest battle any human being will ever face. Conclusion: the choice is yours. The ultimate lesson of this story is simple. A wish can show you where you want to go, but only action can actually take you there. Dreaming is incredibly important because it gives you a clear direction. However, dreams without effort are nothing more than empty fantasies. The actual difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is often much smaller than you think. Both groups have big dreams. Both face heavy problems. Both experience deep fear. The only real difference is that one keeps moving forward, while the other keeps waiting on the shore. If you truly want something out of this life, stop asking whether it is possible. Start asking whether you are actually willing to stand up and fight for it. Because the future will never belong to the whisperers and the wishers. The future belongs to those who act. My ultimate advice to you is this. Never measure the value of your life solely by your final results. Measure it by your daily effort. If you are improving a little bit every day, learning every day, and pushing forward every single day, then you are already closer to true success than most people will ever be. Do not wait for motivation to hit you. Do not wait for the perfect conditions to arrive. Do not wait for someone else to come and save you. Start exactly where you are. Use exactly what you have. Do exactly what you can. Small, simple actions, repeated with discipline day after day, turn into extraordinary results over time. Remember this down to your core. Your dreams are not waiting for your wishes. They are waiting for your work. Motivation life lesson from this story with life lessons with simple English to reader. Here are the powerful life lessons and motivational takeaways from Ethan's story. The core life lesson. A wish shows you where you want to go, but only action can take you there. Dreaming is easy because it is free. Anyone can sit under a tree and imagine a perfect life. But dreams without work are just illusions. The real world doesn't reward what you want to do. It rewards what you actually do. 5 simple lessons for daily life. 1. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Ethan kept waiting for better conditions, more money, and more time. But the perfect time never comes. If you wait until you are 100% ready, you will wait forever. The takeaway: start before you are ready. Start with what you have right now. 2. The river does not care about wishes. The river in the story represents life. If you stand on the riverbank wishing to cross, the water will not stop for you. You have to swim or build a boat. The takeaway: life does not change by magic or luck. It changes when you change your daily habits. 3. Struggle is part of the design. When Ethan started working, his hands hurt, his crops failed, and a storm destroyed his hard work. Failure does not mean you should stop. It means you are learning. The takeaway: expect challenges. When things get difficult, it doesn't mean you are failing, it means you are growing. 4. Work changes you, not just your situation. Mr. Henry taught Ethan that the true reward of hard work is not just the money or the success. The true reward is the person you become along the way. The struggle builds your discipline, wisdom, and strength. The takeaway: trust the journey. The hard days are building the character you need to handle your future success. 5. Your biggest enemy is yourself. Ethan didn't have to fight the other villagers. He had to fight his own laziness, his own excuses, and his desire to stay in a warm bed. The takeaway: the hardest battle you will ever fight is against the part of yourself that wants the easy path. Win that battle every morning. How to apply this today? Action plan. Pick one goal. Stop trying to change everything at once. Pick one dream you have been putting off. Do one small thing. Do not look at the giant finish line. Just spend 15 to 30 minutes today working on it. Be consistent. Forgive yourself if you make mistakes, but do not stop. Small, daily efforts build massive results over time. Thought: your dreams are not waiting for your wishes. They are waiting for your work. Stop wishing, start fighting. Final thoughts. If Ethan's journey touched your heart today, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our growing family. Together, we will learn powerful life lessons, sharpen your English skills, and discover stories that can completely change the way you see the world. Before you step away today, don't forget to watch my previous story, The One You Envy, Envies You. It shares another deeply powerful lesson about perspective that might completely change how you view your own life path. Thank you so much for listening. Stay dedicated to your journey, and I will see you in the very next story.